What's up, guys? So I'm going to talk about 6 ways to highly improve your chances of booking with a high-in-demand artist. So if you've tried to book an appointment with these guys, then you know it's pretty hard to get an appointment locked in with them, and sometimes even hard to get an email back from them. Rumor has it that these guys are getting 1,000 plus emails a day, the top artists, so they have to be picky with who they tattoo. There's just no way that they can tattoo everybody. So I've managed to get tattooed by about 23 artists so far, and I'd say half of them are people that to many seem like they're unreachable and like they're unrealistic to get tattooed by. So I was just going to share a little bit about what I've learned so far of how to improve your chances and lock in with these dudes. Alright, so number 1, be flexible. You know, like I said, these guys are getting a massive amount of emails per day, and they have more talent than you can imagine. So they're allowed to, and they're supposed to be picky with what and even who they tattoo. You know, they want to make sure that what they do is going to a good home, not just somebody that wants a tattoo because it's trendy at the moment or because the artist has a big name and they think it makes them look cool to have a piece by them. They actually want the tattoo to go to a good home who's going to appreciate it and who loves art and all that. So, you know, they want you to do your research on the artist and actually like their style so that you're able to trust them and feel like you're safe under their needle. That makes them feel good and makes them feel like they're able to actually create their best work when you trust them and you give them their freedom, because they are the artist and chances are they know better than you what's going to work, whether it's placement or size or actual subject matter, what's going to turn out best on skin. So I think that if you're open to changing your own ideas and taking their ideas into consideration, then you're going to drastically improve your chances of collecting the best quality piece possible by them. Alright, so number 2, be deposit ready. A lot of people email about booking an appointment, but they're not even able to send a couple $100 deposit-wise. So if you're not able to do that, the artist is just not going to be able to really take you serious. If you can't pay a couple of $100 up front, they're going to have little faith that you're going to actually be able to put out the whole amount of cash once the appointment comes. So what I do, this isn't 100% necessary or anything, but what I do when I book an appointment, I just send whatever amount of cash I can afford towards the tattoo up front and then pay the rest later. That way they know that you're taking it very serious and you're not just doing the bare minimum or anything. But like I said, that's not 100% necessary, but I do like to do that, and I think it goes a long way with the artist. But yeah, I think a good rule of thumb is to not even email about setting up an actual appointment until you're ready to send the deposit. You know, you can inquire about rates and all that kind of stuff, but when it comes to actually trying to set up an appointment, don't even bother emailing until you're ready to send the deposit, because that's pretty much what lets them know that you're serious. Alright, so number 3, be open to ideas. I know there's a lot of tempting stuff on Pinterest, you know, trees going up forearms and infinity symbols and white ink on your finger and dream catchers and all that, but come on now. If you're going to a really talented artist, then chances are they have all kinds of ideas up their sleeve, and they're also able to, if you have your own ideas, they're able to piece those together and create an original concept for you. You know, they just have a really good idea of what's going to work out. So come to them with your ideas and have them create something original for you, and be willing to take their advice on stuff, because like I said, they're just going to know what's going to work best. So I think that it's important to go to an artist who you like about 80% or more of their work, and that way you're as safe as possible in their hands and under their needle. Alright, number 4, be professional and detailed with your emails. A lot of artists won't even accept DMs. They just think that if you're unable to go to your email app and type in their address into the recipient box and fill out a somewhat detailed and professional email, they think that you're just not going to be a serious client, so they just don't even check their DMs. But a couple things not to say, hey, I want a tattoo, or how much for a sleeve, you know, questions like that. Just let the artist know that you're pretty inexperienced in the industry and that you don't really know exactly what you want or anything like that. Usually these guys price by either the full day, which is 8 to 10 hours, or a half day, which is 4 to 5, or they'll price hourly. So what you really want to ask them is those rates and those numbers. when it comes to a big project, sleeves are normally going to take, anywhere from 4 to 6 or 7 sessions, depending on the speed of the artist and all that. So, ask them questions like the rate, desired subject matter. Ask them about, date accommodating info if you're traveling and all kinds of things like that. But they can't take it serious, and they'll have a little faith in you being a serious client if you are unable to provide a professional email. So if you're a serious collector, I suggest letting them know that, and letting them know that you want to collect a piece from them, and you're open to all kinds of ideas, and they'll take that a lot more serious than if you just message them saying how much for a sleeve or I want a tattoo. And all right, number 5, don't burn bridges. I'd say the main way people do this is they hear an artist's rate, hourly rate or their full day rate, whether it's $150 or $200 an hour or $1,500 or $2,000 a day or whatever, and they'll instantly be like, oh, well, I know someone that'll do a $300 tap out session, however long I can go, or I'll do it for $50 an hour, and the artist is just gonna laugh at you because 99.9% of the time that artist just hasn't worked on his craft near as long as the more expensive artist has. So they're not going to do a better job for cheaper. Chances are you're much better off treating it like an investment, saving your money and not being hasty with it, and going to an artist whose work you truly love rather than whose price you truly love. But yeah, don't burn bridges, because you're going to get what you pay for. And chances are you might get a cheap tattoo and then quickly realize that you're going to be better off going to the people that you have to save a little while longer for. And I'd say the second way people burn bridges is they'll shoot over an email, and then they won't get an email back very quick because the artist is just so busy. And they'll send them messages like, oh, is my money not good enough for you, or are you too big time for me, or yada yada yada, and they'll get frustrated. But really, these guys just get burned out checking all their social media and checking all their emails, especially if they don't have an assistant, if they're doing their own bookings. So they'll book out for a couple months, and then they'll not check their emails, so you just have to be persistent with them. But yeah, don't burn bridges, because the industry is small. If you're really a dick, then your name can get blacklisted by the top artists. If you do stupid stuff like that, or if you cancel appointments is another way people burn bridges. Cancel appointments last minute. All right, number 6 is be persistent. I'll say it again. Some of these guys are getting 1,000+ emails per day. You'll see a lot of guys that don't even have their booking information on their bio because they just get so overwhelmed. And people set a date that they're going to book appointments for the next 3 months, and they'll book January, February, and March all in one day on that date that they're setting their appointments, and then they won't check their email for a couple months just because they want to keep their mind fresh and not get too overwhelmed with all the social media stuff and all the client stuff. So they'll make it easy on themselves by doing that. So sometimes people send over an email and they won't hear back, and they'll get discouraged and they'll give up. But you can't do that. You got to shoot over an email. If you don't hear back, send over another email. Hey, I don't know if you saw my last message, but yada yada yada. That'll improve your chances, because a lot of people just send one email and then give up because they get discouraged. So another thing you can do is if you know somebody else who's got tattooed by them, obviously ask them for their insight on how they booked with them, or play your cards and use your connections. But yeah, don't take it to heart if you don't hear back from them in a timely manner, because they just get overwhelmed, and they're human, and they're not. A lot of them don't even have assistants, so they do all their own booking information, which can get hectic. But be persistent, and that'll definitely improve your chances. But anyways, these are just some things I've learned through the years that helped me secure some appointments with pretty incredible artists, so I figured I'd share them. I'm still learning a lot as I go, both what to do and what not to do. It's hard to figure it all out, but I think I've got it down pretty good these days. I did just book an appointment that I got on Friday with Nico Hurtado, who's probably the #1 most in-demand artist in the world, I'd say. So I think I've got a pretty good idea, but anyway, still learning plenty of stuff. But hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, share with some friends. Thank you guys for watching. Much love.